Hi guys, Steph here. Okay, today what we've got for you is a very interesting pen. What is it, I hear you ask? Well, what we've got for you is the Swan Pen. Now, this particular one is actually it's the Swan Pen, and the model number, which we'll show you in a moment, is 3010. Now, this one it's not so much a vintage pen. Nice and simply, it's a antique fountain pen. As we said, it's the Swan Pen. It comes in black and it comes with this lovely chased pattern. Now, first of all, the size of it from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, it's approximately 133 millimeters capped. Around the diameter, it's a tad under 9 millimeters in diameter. Now, as I said, this is the Swan Pen. Now, first of all, let's take you to the barrel imprint first of all. So let me keep it nice and still for you, and what you'll see, I'll give it a little twirl as I'm talking. You'll see it has the Swan logo to the left hand side, and then it reads the Swan Pen. And then if I twirl it slightly upwards, underneath you'll see it has the different patent dates. I think it starts with patent October the 2nd, 86, and so on and so forth. I think there's 3 patent dates there. And then to the very bottom there, what you'll see, it actually says Mabie Todd Bard, New York. Okay, so let's just maybe give you a different angle. Sometimes it's a little bit clearer. Okay, so it's the Swan Pen with the different patents, but the most interesting thing, as I say, is the fact that it says Mabie Todd Bard Limited. Now, the reason I say it's interesting is that Mabie Todd and Company established themselves sort of early 1800s, around 1800s. And at that time they were Mabie Todd and Company, and then approximately around about I think it's about sort of 1870s, they actually then they were joined by a chap called Mr. Bard, so the name was changed to Mabie Todd Bard, as in this pen. Then around about the very early 1900s, I believe about 1907, they then reverted back to the Mabie Todd and Company name. So the fact that this one has Mabie Todd Bard, I'm dating it the very early 1900s, and who knows, maybe even earlier. Okay, so quite as simply, the pen is over 100 years old, so nice and simply, it's an antique pen. Now, one thing I didn't show you before, I mentioned the model number a little bit earlier, and there we go to the bottom of the barrel there. You will see that it has 3010, and then just underneath it has the letters BRD. Okay, again, let's give you a little bit of a different angle. Now, what does the BRD stand for? Well, it is interesting, and again, I learned something new every day, and I'm not 100% sure what the BRD stands for, but I assume it stands for broad, that the nib on this pen is a broad nib. Okay, so let's show you the cap there. It comes, which is correct for this pen, It's just a standard black plain slip cap. And then while we're showing it to you again, let's show you this gorgeous sort of engine turn pattern on the pen in absolutely superb condition. You can see even the chasing is nice and crisp. Now what I did, basically there was nothing hard to do to this particular pen. I just simply gave it a wipe over. There's no polishing or anything like that needed to do. I actually soaked the inside of the barrel overnight with clean water, and then when I emptied it, the water came out nice and clean. So there was no residue of ink inside the pen. I cannot see any residue anywhere on the pen itself. So in my opinion, this little gorgeous pen has been basically sat around somewhere, not being used, but still retaining this gorgeous condition. So in my opinion, the pen has never been inked. So let's take off the slip cap like so. Let's show you the pen in a couple of different angles. As I say, superb pen. What we'll do, we'll find a new home for it. There is people out there that actually collect these antique pens. Whether it's actually a user pen, I'm not too sure. Again, 100 years old, maybe more. Whether it's a user pen or whether somebody would actually just simply collect and display it in a collection. But either way, as I say, in gorgeous condition. Let me take you up to the section. You can see the section has got this sort of, it's quite a long section with this sort of a little bit of a step to the center there. Now let's take you up to the nib, and the first thing that you'll notice, this nib has the over and under feed to it. You can see the nib underneath there. You can't see it clearly, but the nib, the imprint, nice and simply reads Mabie Todd and Company, New York. So again, very interesting, the fact that it says Mabie Todd and Company, New York. Again, the nib may be even earlier. But as I say, we've got this over and under feed. If I show you underneath there, that's what these feeds actually look like. It's just like a little rod, if you like, on the top of the nib and underneath. As you can see, lovely and clean. And as I said earlier, in my opinion, the pen's never been inked. Now this one, in case you've not noticed, is what we term as an eyedropper pen, which means to fill the pen, what the person would do is simply unscrew the barrel like so and just simply fill the barrel with ink from an eyedropper, well, in the early days. Now another little interesting thing with this pen, and I've shown you this before, but these sort of old early pens, you can see the feed there, it has this quite a long rod, or a feed if you like, and then to the top there you can see it has this twisted, sort of a twisted wire. Now that wire there is for the ink flow to the feed. It sort of, supposedly it sort of helps to regulate the ink flow to the nib. Okay, so another lovely interesting feature. Not only does it have this over and under feed, but we've got this feed inside here, which are quite common with the very early pens. Okay, so let's show you the feed like so. So let's screw the barrel back on, Now, as I said, I'm going to try and find a new home for this pen, so I'm not going to fill the pen to do a writing sample, because again I'm going to leave it to the new owner to whether they actually fill the pen and use it, or whether they simply again just collect and display it. So as I say, it's not been inked, so I'm not going to add ink to the pen, but it'd be interesting to see how the pen writes. So just for you people that I know like to see pens writing, let's do a bit of a writing sample. So we'll simply do a dip test. So if I dip the nib in the ink, and again it'd be interesting to see if we're correct with this BRD at the end there. So what we have is the Swan Pen. Let's just give it another little dip. Again, I'm dating this pen from 1900s, and who knows, maybe even earlier. Excuse my spelling. How does it write? It's writing very nicely indeed. Now, some of these pens were renowned should I say, for having a flex nib. So let's see, does it have any flex? Well, nice and simply, the answer is yes, it does. So look at that. On the downward stroke, a nice thick line. On the cross stroke, a lovely fine line. So let's leave it at that with a writing sample. So as you can see, a lovely variation in the line. Lovely writer as well, by the way, but we're getting a nice variation in the line with this flexi nib. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. Let's get a little bit of tissue from over here. Let's just give it a wipe. What we'll do, we'll swill the pen once we've finished the video, and again we'll try and find this beautiful antique pen a new home, so somebody will add it to their collection and will enjoy it hopefully for another 100 years. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I enjoyed showing them to you people. Don't forget, leave a comment below, don't be shy. Give the video a thumbs up if you will. Down below, if you possibly can, please support my work. And last but not least, yes, we're still not out of it, so please stay home, stay safe. But for now, I'll just say bye bye for now.